So as you know, I started kind of welding, what, 2 years ago. I bought myself a welder and I've run it off these generators. I've showed you the entire setup, but I've got a little paralink connection for my generator. So I can connect both generators together and get 30 amps out of it instead of the 15 amps, I guess is what it is, whatever it is. And so I've got myself a little welding setup now. Well, you know, there's things I didn't clearly understand when I started out. You know, you gotta learn. I did some welding back in the 90s, not a lot, just a little. I knew what a welding stick was. So a couple years ago, I made a video where I showed you that I had welded this cargo hook back on. It's held on really good. That's beside the point, but it did a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, the other one's starting to break. After I welded this one, that one started giving up. So I think the weld is actually stronger than the original, but that, like I said, that's beside the point. So I had the ground right here, and then the welding stick. So the circuit, to complete the circuit, was all localized right here. So I didn't have electricity flying throughout the entire engine. You know, I didn't try to ground it from over here and weld over there. I kept it very localized, so it didn't have far to travel. I do now know that I should have also disconnected the battery. And that prevents any feedback, and you know, just, I'm not sure I understand it all still yet. I just know that these are the facts from what I've understood, that when you're welding on a car, you want to protect the electrical system. That's the key. You got to protect the electrical system. So you do that by keeping your grounding really close to the weld itself, which I just happened to do by accident, which was great. Like I said, I didn't disconnect the battery, but you know, with it being that close, I suspect that I really didn't cause a big issue. Well, I got a lawnmower in the other day, and now when I said that I was welding, what I'm telling you is I was welding with a welding machine. I had a welding machine. I was running the generators to power the welder. There is an emergency type of thing you can do to weld when you're out on the trail. Let's say you're you're doing those four-wheel drive trail things, and you break something. These guys will carry 3 12-volt batteries, and they'll put them up in I never get this right, series. Anyway, they'll make 36 volts is what they'll do out of these 3 batteries. Then they'll hook up some jumper cables to the batteries, and they can use, what's going on here? What are you doing underneath there? Get out of there. Girlie's up underneath the house. So you can use a welding stick, and now you've made those 3 batteries into a welder. It's an emergency little thing you can do. You're not going to get a lot of energy out of it. And if the batteries die, you're going to have to hook it up to your car, charge the battery up. It's a lot, you know, it's just for a quick little fix. It's not something to weld on. Well, this guy told me a while back that he was using his lawnmower as a welder. Well, I didn't understand exactly what he was doing. I mean, I understood he was probably using the battery as a welder. So he said it wouldn't start. Well, when I got it here, I identified what happened. The welder itself, using it as a welder, so my assumption is he's running the engine, because that battery is not going to make a very long weld. And you're only going to get a few seconds out of it. So he's running the engine. That means he's charging the battery with the engine as he's welding. Now, the battery is shot. I had to replace the battery. That's a brand new battery there, because he killed the battery. So he what happened was this has a breaker in it. I've explained this in a previous video, but it had a breaker. Instead of a fuse, there's a breaker there. And the wire must have heated up, the connection, and as it was vibrating, that wire fell off. So it killed the engine. And thankfully, that happened, thankfully. Because he could have really tore things up. If the breaker is not working correctly, it could have sent electricity back feed through the voltage regulator and into the stator, and it would have just destroyed his charging system. It would have burned up wires. It would have been pretty expensive. So thankfully that wire fell off. But to add to this story, I realized he was welding his machine. So this would have been a difficult weld because he's only using 12 volts. You really need 36 volts, 24 to 36 volts to get a good spark. Once you have the spark, then the voltage can drop down. But the initial spark, you need 36. Boy, for an old dog, she sometimes just gets a lot of energy. So he's welding, and it's not a bad weld. I mean, he's done this before, you can see. I mean, it's not great, but for 12 volts, he didn't do bad. Got a lot of fill in there. He's got a weld back here. So my assumption is he wasn't even using a negative ground. He was just using the body as a ground because it was connected to the negative battery post. You know, it's just looping. Well, that's an awful lot to ask from a lawnmower. A lot to ask. So when the wire popped off, that meant the electricity didn't have anywhere to go. So the lawnmower died. That means now he's pulling straight from the battery without any circuit breakers or anything. That means the electricity is just running wild. Now, it may have only been for a fraction of a second that he was still welding as the lawnmower was dying. So he had all this built up energy into the lawnmower frame. Well, I'm sitting here and I fix it, I put that wire back on, I get a new battery, but I tried to start it. This is a brand new choke. I put it on last summer, but it's not working anymore. So when I started it, it was in a choke position. That means he tried to start it himself. It didn't turn over, so he just left it. So when I started it, I didn't even move this handle. It was right where it was supposed to be. So I started it and I realized, then I take the choke off and I realized, oops, the choke didn't come off. It didn't move. So we can look over here and you can see that it's not moving. Nothing's moving. Fortunately, this thing has a mechanical choke, so you can still choke it manually. So when I released this, something must have happened, or maybe it was already there. Maybe something already happened when he put it into the choke position. I don't know, but it was flooding out and smoking black, which means it was burning gas heavily. It's a too rich situation. So I knew the choke was stuck. So I run back here and I try to lift it up. It popped it right up. So now I know this is broke. It's useless. I just replaced it. But I couldn't figure out how I broke it. What happened at the moment that I started up this lawnmower that it broke? So I get on AI and I start going through everything that I've just went through with you. He used it as a welder, and he that wire fell off, and AI never figured it out. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I said, is it possible that an electrical surge came up through this wire the cable itself and heated up the choke, because that's just a piece of plastic underneath there. So you have a Z-bend that hooks into a piece of plastic. Is it possible that choke heated up that plastic and melted it? And it's an absolute possibility. There's actually a name for it. I don't remember what the name is called, but it happens frequently with people who try to weld on their trucks. On a truck, you don't even get the satisfaction of just having a loose wire or a broken choke cable. It will ruin your computer. It will ruin your voltage alternator. It just ruins everything. There's thousands of dollars of work, and it happens pretty regularly. People do this all the time for some reason. So much so they have a name for it. So I suspect that choke broke because he was welding with it. I mean, it's a creative idea. Don't get me wrong. To weld with your lawnmower. It's even more amazing that it worked for as long as it did. So, you know, maybe in an emergency repair, you could find, you know, like a quick little tack, you know, something, just to get you home, whatever. If you're doing it on an ATV, maybe you could do it. I wouldn't suggest it. The damage, the thing is, there's still hidden damage in here. Bearings could be pitted now, like on your, you know, your deck spindles and your wheel bearings. They all could be pitted up. He may run into more problems in 10 hours that he may not even see as related. So I would suggest not doing that. If you're going to weld, do what I did. Go out, buy yourself a $40 welder, and unplug your battery and keep your ground close to the work spot. The thing is I use generators. So even if I wanted to be mobile, let's say he was wanting to be mobile, or I'm on a trail, I just throw those generators in the back of the truck. My welder, it wouldn't take up much more room, and I'd have a backup welder instead of 3 batteries, and then having to charge batteries. The problem with charging the battery when they're that dead is you are shoving a ton of electricity through these little bitty wires. You know, you're shoving 30 amps of electricity into just complete openness. There's nothing to restrict the flow because the battery's dead. And until that battery charges up, it's just complete amperage going through there. So you're going to hurt things. Your voltage regulator on these little mowers are not that strong. And there's no reason for them to be that strong. I mean, if you're making your lawnmower a welder because you think that they should be better quality, if they put in that kind of voltage regulator with that kind of quality, you're talking about a $20 part to a $200 part. What are we building here? Are we building a welder, or are we building a lawnmower? I say let's keep it as a lawnmower and go buy $40 in welding, you know, machine. So I understand it's a great option. Oh, it's snowing. It's a great option in an emergency, having those 3 batteries, but don't use your mower, don't use your truck or your car as a welder. It's not designed for it. It can't handle it. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over my other channel. Really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you, don't use your equipment for a welder so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.